Hello, everybody, and welcome to another live meeting. I'm here with Daniel, and we have Jim and Barrett, although Daniel and I are going to be leading the meeting today on the 28th of July, Sunday for most of us. This is a quick impromptu meeting. We'll probably have a more full one in August or September. But just as a heads up, we'll be talking about ZelCore and the latest to release. Daniel will be covering that. I'll be talking about the Cameo network upgrade, giving a little review and overview. Daniel will then be talking about ZelLabs. I'll give us a roadmap update. And then Daniel will touch on the marketing and listing updates as well. So ZelCore version 2.2.0, Daniel?
Catalina wine mixer, pow. So yeah, we had you can advance to the next one. So I think one of the big things that came out was last night was the Neo support. So Neo will be added to this next release of ZelCore, and I believe desktop was released today, Miles.
Yes, desktop went out earlier today, and then so mobile should be out in the next 48 to 72 hours.
So if you're a fan of Neo, you're going to like the Labs update. You can advance to the next one, Miles. We also added gas, so you can't have Neo without gas. So you'll have gas support as well. Next. And for all you Tron fans out there, and I know there's a bunch of them, so Tron will now be supported in ZelCore. And actually, I believe, Miles, if you go to the next slide, BitTorrent, which is one of the assets on the Tron network, will now be supported as well.
And just to touch on, that means all NEP5, which is Neo's token standard, somewhat similar to ERC20s on the Ethereum network, and also all TRX20s, which is the Tron's token standard, at least, or one of them, are also supported in ZelCore. So they can be added relatively easily. So any requests or recommendations you guys may have, reach out to Daniel or Parker, or I don't want to volunteer myself for that. You guys can deal with that. And we can look at getting that added into ZelCore in the next upcoming release. We're going to have to get a little bit more of a family built up into ZelCore in the next release.
Yeah, an impressive number to throw out there too, Miles, was I was sitting there going through last night adding the different assets, and ZelCore now supports in excess of 20,000 different assets on all these different chains. So between Raven and Neo and Tron and all these other ones, Binance, there's a lot of assets that are supported directly out of ZelCore.
Yeah, I've heard potentially BEP2, which is Binance Chain's token standard, looking to be added soon. Looking forward to really owning the asset domain, having everything and anything that makes sense. Moving through into, well, the project I'll bring up later on in this little meeting of ours. Guess you've got the usual ZelCore Plus advert, and I see mobile, August 2019, Dan.
Yeah, so we threw this in there. This isn't just a regular advertisement, but we're actually going to put some dates around mobile on ZelCore. And if you were hanging around in general earlier this week, you got a little teaser of what Phoenix is going to be. Miles is working on with Lumi on a UI UX kind of redesign for ZelCore, and it's pretty sweet. So I was impressed. So we'll throw some more teasers out here within the next week or so you can see some pictures of what it's starting to shape up into. But yeah, we're pretty excited about that as well. So mobile August for ZelCore Plus.
Great. Next, I guess I'll cover the Cameo network upgrade and the goings on. This slide here sums it up pretty well, actually. So on the night of the upgrade, on July 3rd, a bunch of the guys from the team came together in Boulder, Colorado for our team meetup for the week. We got a lot of work done and just hang out. But as those who were present saw the little hiccup we run into at block 370,523, where one line of code led to the difficulty dropping. Instead of just dropping 50% once, it kept halvening. all the way down until it hit 1.5 or 1.457, something like this, where it couldn't drop any further because the lowest minimum difficulty is 1. So the network got a little bit stuck at block height 372,523. We identified the problem within 20 minutes. We had, I think it was almost 200 people in the Discord live chat, and I think everyone had a fun time with us. But we then found the issue within 20 minutes and got a fix together and released within 3 to 4 hours with the help of some of the pool operators, the community, and also our developers. Jeremy, Villake, Lolly Deep, Tadeusz, and from the pool ops, basically all of them, but a standout was Bishoy Equipool. And we managed to get the fix together in 3 to 4 hours and get it out there. The other highlight of the night was the raccoon that kept coming and stealing our cookies. But overall, quite an eventful night. Very tiring, but also I think it was an awesome experience. Dan, I know you were there for it in person. I think it was great to see the guys together in person working on it, but also to hear the community and the support we had as people heard the teamwork and the problem solving that went on in person relatively quickly as well.
Yeah, and big props to Miles. You really stepped up into that and grabbed the bull by the horns and worked through it. So yeah, I think you aged 10 years that night. It was
Maybe
good.
a
It was
little.
fun. It was fun though.
For sure. It was good. It was a good start, I think, for the week of the team meetup as well. Set the tone. So next we've got not Raccoon Works, but Skunk Works with our ZelLabs team. Daniel, do you want to touch on what the team's been up to?
Yeah, so ZelLabs has been unbelievably busy. So as you guys know, we've had a couple projects come through, but one of the largest to work with us now is going to be Neo and their smart economy. A nice Medium article was put out specifically around, kind of what Neo is. If you're not familiar with Neo, I think they're number 18 on CoinMarketCap. Fairly large project. Large Asian community as well. And it's well liked by a lot of people, and they have really solid development in terms of technology and their roadmap and what they're looking to do. And next slide, Miles. So kind of what we're looking to do is we have launched a partnership with Neo. So what does that mean? That means that we are going to add Neo Gas, the NEP5 as asset layer that Miles was talking about, including the Neo Fish token. So now we can add any NEP5 assets into ZelCore, which is important as they start to build out their asset platform and token sales and so on and so forth. It's nice to be able to support those as we do with other ones. We will have an upcoming Neo and Zel AMA. Basically, Neo is an open source project that is looking to develop their DApp platform, or really what's called their smart economy. So there's a lot of different components to that. And what is that? And what that means to us in Zel is as we start to enter into these partnerships, and what they look like is a lot of this is discovery, because some of the things that we're looking to do has never been done before. So whether it's development on one or another's platforms, or maybe you'll see someday down the road, you could see a Neo DApp inside of ZelCore. That's completely and totally possible. So these are new opportunities for each one of these projects, and exciting times, that's for sure. All right, and this is the AMA that's going to be held on the Neo Telegram. So I highly suggest that everybody come over and they can participate in the AMA with Neo and their project as well. I had a couple questions today, specifically around kind of what this looks like, and I think that would be a really good place to start to develop those conversations and to kind of flesh some of those details out.
UTC +8, is that, I assume, Beijing time, or? Yeah.
I don't know, man. I'll just show up.
Early in the morning for you. Early in the
It's
morning
early.
for you, it seems.
It's early for me. Yeah.
Yeah. Great.
So if you know a project that would benefit from labs, we've had some pretty interesting coin projects go through ZelLabs, Coin Request, Neo's going there. Now we've had Haven. We're working on Haven. An update on that is they are putting the finishing touches on their web wallet. As soon as their web wallet's complete, we'll start with the Haven integration, and we're also looking at how we can possibly run oracles, their oracles on the Zel node infrastructure. So we're working real hard on the Zel node infrastructure and building that out as well. So
Yeah, and I'll just touch on that in the roadmap update in a little bit.
cool.
A little touch from the marketing team. Daniel's here on behalf of them. So take it away.
Yeah, we had a couple of from a marketing and PR standpoint. I don't know if you guys have noticed, but we really kind of upped our game a bit there. We're continuing to really push useful content. So nothing that we're pushing out there is shilly. It's just more educational and informational about the project. We also added Dean Pappas to the team. Hopefully our next live meeting, we'll have Dean on that call as well, so that you guys can all meet him. And I believe that we're going to have him on the Core podcast as well coming up. So that'll be some, and if you haven't had an opportunity to listen to the Core recently, we've had some really awesome projects coming on. We got some awesome projects coming up as well. So I highly recommend, downloading that on iTunes or Stitcher or whatever. You can listen to it on YouTube as well.
Dan, don't flatter me like that. My episode of the call went up, I think, yesterday or today. Thank you.
Yeah,
No,
it was good. It was good. I listened to it last night while I was working, so that was good.
Yeah, I'm catching up with Dean as well. I think in Tokyo in late August, going to September. It'd be good to sit down, have a little meeting of the minds between us going forward. But great addition to the team. I'm happy he's here. He brings a lot of useful insight and experience, especially in the space.
Yes, sir.
So a little spot for the Core podcast, as Dan mentioned just now. Exciting guests coming up and projects. And I was on yesterday. You'll get a little more insight about the Cameo core upgrade. It was cut down and got chopped out the bits where I talked about the Zel VPN project, and ZelNode's developments that have been ongoing. But a good cut of Cameo information in there, and I think I'll be back on in late August to talk about the upcoming things we have that are going to be mentioned in the roadmap in just a moment. So ZelCore V3, dubbed Project Phoenix. That was dubbed by Daniel. Great choice of name. Not quite as dramatic, I'd say, but V3 really is a rework of an almost rebuild of a lot of the code on the back end and front end side of things for ZelCore. I won't jump too deeply into this. I'll save it for later on in the month of August. But we're looking to completely rebuild the user experience and user interface, not only on desktop, but also mobile. These changes may be a little radical, where we're looking to simplify and clean up things, but we're still wanting to have the full range and choice of options and customizability that ZelCore does offer. But just a warning, as a designer, if I may call myself that, I believe in less is more methodology. Simple and clean UIs have always been attractive to me, especially dark UIs. We'll obviously offer legacy UI options, but there's a bunch of useful things. One example I can give is in the new update, V3, when it does come out, ZelCore will start to automate things for you, where it will automatically check, okay, can you connect to the internet? Okay, you can. Can you connect to the ZelCore Explorers? Oh, you can't. Okay, let me try and turn on a proxy for you automatically. And then if it can't, then it will suggest with a little pop-up, hey, do you want to try to go to the knowledge base or support to resolve this? So we're rebuilding the support structure as well, making sure ZelCore is ready for mass adoption. I think we're at well over 30,000 users now on desktop and 5,000 apiece on mobile, Android and iOS, as we are moving through into August now, and really a radical rebuilding of the support structure was needed. Another topic that Dan mentioned was ZelLabs. It's continuing its development as more projects join. Really excited to see Neo come in as a project with a market cap of over $1 billion, and they're good history. They've been around, I think, for 3-4 years. They bring a lot of technical know-how and experience as well. So it'd be great to work with them in the future and whatever does arise from that. ZelNode's phase 2 development. Jeremy, Tadesh and I and a couple of other guys are going to be working on this. We're looking forward to releasing that. If you are cheating the benchmarks, I'll warn you now, that won't be possible in the next release. So really working hard on building the actually automation of the network as well, the usability and functionality of the network, to the point where we can actually deploy applications, dApps, and also look to deploy blockchains on ZelNodes finally. So before the end of the year, we'll be at that point with ZelVPN. Before that, there'll be currently an unnamed network upgrade between September and October to put those changes into effect. And then ZelVPN will be developed and look to be released within Q4. More details on that will follow as we build that company, technology, and brand over the next few months. And then Project Unity will hopefully edge towards completion as a little goal that's being kind of put on the back burner continuously. And then finally, we'll have, not put on here, but the stretch goal to deploy a showcase blockchain to highlight potential TPS that can be reached on the network through Q4 into Q1, Q2 of 2020. You can see the full roadmap at zel.network/zel. And the other thing that hasn't been mentioned here is the rebuilding of the white paper. And you can call it a rebuilding because it's being made in the latex text language, just so it's much easier to work with and it's much more of a formal paper because we have a lot more technical information to go in there as well as content. So I'm looking to update that over the next few months. Parker and I, and obviously Daniel and a few other guys on the team will be working through that. And other things not mentioned on here, like the new D2FA ZelID account system that's been built that now involves D2FA and in a much more, familiar way to those that use previous authenticators like Google 2FA, except for it's completely offline, but you have got that 30-second time-based code. So we've built a 2FA system that is completely offline. It really does strengthen the account system as well. Legacy account system would be supported, but we'd encourage everyone to shift to the new one when it's released as part of the V3 Project Phoenix update. And that'll be coming in August, September time, roughly. So August seems to be a month for us. It's going to be a lot of development work. September and consolidation. September, October seems to be very exciting, and then November will seem to be another development month, with December being us gearing towards another network upgrade going into January. So I'll say questions and answers in Discord as per usual. Thanks, Dan, for joining me and giving me a little overview of the ZelLabs side of things. I actually learned a little bit today as well. And yeah, I guess we'll see everyone on Discord. It's been more of an informal chat. Dan, do you have anything to add?
No, and we just want to make sure that we keep everybody up to date and apprised on what's happening as we kind of move through this. We're moving at breakneck speed. Miles mentioned the other day, if you're not breaking it, it's not tech. So
if you're not going fast enough unless you're breaking things. I think that's where we're at.
Well, we like to break it and iterate quickly and learn. So, we want to make sure you guys are along for the ride, and we'll keep you updated as best we can. So we'll head over to the Q&A, and thanks again to everybody for supporting us.
Thank you, guys. We'll see you on Discord or the next live meeting in about a month's time. Thank you, everybody. Bye-bye.